Hey guys, John here, and welcome back to NASCAR 06 Total Team Control. We are heading off to Phoenix Phoenix Road Course for a showdown, and then we have a nationwide race at Atlanta. Still not exactly sure how I'm going to handle the next episode since it's like back-to-back nationwide, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's take care of this showdown. I don't even remember who it's against. Let's find out. Elliott Sadler. All right. Well, we're 3-0 so far. Let's see if we can make it 4. I'm not particularly good at this track. I find it very difficult, typically. So let's hope that we can get through here without too much issue. It's a sketchy track. There's a couple really dangerous turns here. I'm trying to loop around the outside and get a little run here. So I overdrove that, just so you know. Jimmy Broadbent would say that was the send, but unfortunately didn't work out for us. Try to get... Oh, God. I'm sorry, Elliott. Oh, well, at least they don't care about, like, rivalry stuff in this, so you can hit them all you want. Oh, God, no. The race is over. Race is over because I freaking touched the sand over there. Oh, well. So, we're not doing 4-0 in challenges. And I knew this was a chance. I did say I'm not good here. But whatever. So we're going to get an email saying, why don't you go back to driving go-karts or whatever the frick. But, yeah. I just, my tendency to overdrive things can usually be overcome at a lot of tracks. But somewhere like this, where if you just like swing out wide, you touch that sand over there, you just come to a stop, and yeah, that's that. But I'm also really terrible through here, so. Oh well, we had a shot, but I blew it. GG, Sadler. GG. Looking pretty weak. Let me know if you know what, whatever. Not even a real track, so frick you. Oh right, we already saw this challenge that we're not going to be able to complete, so yeah. Okay, well, we will move on and get qualified at Atlanta. Alright, here we go. Said the exact same thing as me. Try to keep her pinned down here as we can without getting onto that white line. Would be real bad for us. So I guess I could oh no, man, I haven't had that happen for like a couple weeks. God dang it. Ah, stop. So let me get this pole, for God's sake. Alright, cool. Let me fix that and I'll continue what I was going to say later. Alright, hopefully that fixed it. So we got the pole. Let's see where our teammates are. Miller's in 7th. That's good. Boyer's in 18th. Less good. But alright. Let's move on. Alright. Be real careful here at the start. We know they're going to probably get a bit of a run on us on the outside here. Well, Mark did anyway, and Carl too. Dale Jr., is that? That's right on our bumper, or is that Martin Truex? I think it's Dale Jr. Anyway. But we are clear into 2nd. Doesn't look like we're going to lead the first lap, but oh well, it's fine, I guess. Mark Martin, who we've had a fair share of issues with in recent times, but not in this series apparently, because he's just neutral. Only Cup that we've had lots of issues with him in, I guess. Ooh, that was very close. We made a little contact there. I thought I was going to get a crossover on him. It did not work. We were going to get a run here, though. Oh, barely kept it off of him there. And we're going to drive her in right on the line. And we're going to make our way into the lead, finally. Well, I say finally. It's only lap 3, but... alright. So let me grab Miller here, who is falling, unfortunately. Gotta make things difficult for me, don't you? Okay. I'm gonna help him get a few spots here. Get up there to the front a little bit, and then we'll go back for Boyer. Meanwhile, letting our car save some fuel and hopefully stay in the lead, though it looks like Martin's making a play already. But, careful, careful. But yeah. Let that AI save us some fuel. That's been very important for us. Oh, don't get on the apron, you fool. Alright, yeah, that's Junior because this is Truex here. Couldn't remember if Truex had a an Oreo paint scheme at all. I feel like there was a race where they were both sponsored by that, possibly back in the day. I don't remember what year or what situation it was, but anyway. Yeah, so I was going to mention it during the qualifying thing, but the blinking distracted me. So I watched pretty much the entirety of Speed Weeks, I guess you'd say. Well, I watched the duels and then the Truck Xfinity and Cup races. I didn't watch the Clash or the qualifying stuff, but anyway, so I decided I would watch all the races to give myself the opportunity to start the year off, to try to get reinvigorated, to try to get interested in some stuff. And also I wanted to tune in because of, you know, some ends of an era there. Like, for example, Jamie McMurray, that was his last race, more than likely, of his career. So stuff like that, you know, I wanted to see. Anyway, my takeaway from it is that I didn't really enjoy it. The truck race was... I think a disaster is probably putting it lightly. It was worse than an ARCA race. They wrecked so many trucks that by the end there was only a handful left. That is not how you want to start the season, for sure. So that was the thing. Could you... frick off, please, Mr. Martin. Alright. Anyway, so yeah, you don't want to start the season off like that. Those guys tore up a lot of equipment. Oh no! God, I hate when that happens. You just can't do anything about it either. Oh, frick. You good, mate? It's just like, there's nothing you can do. I'm letting off, I'm turning away, I'm braking, and it's just like, no, you're getting wrecked. Because you made contact. In the end, you're stuck. Frick. Anyway, I do here. You know what? Let's do something sneaky. Maybe we can help Boyer out with a little bit of strategy. But anyway, well, let's just hold off on that until we get back going again, I guess. Alright, so yeah, truck race, pretty much a disaster. I mean, it was good for Hill to get that win, you know. I honestly had never heard of him because I didn't really watch much last year. I guess I should give you that as a sort of retrospective, I guess, that I only watched a handful of races last year. It's the first year where I didn't attempt to watch all the races in a long time. yeah, I only watched a handful of races, including, of course, the finale, which left me pretty much not not in the mood for watching it much this year. But I decided to give it a try, so that's why I was watching. But so I don't know a lot of the like newer people. Um, so you know, for me it was like, oh, you know, good for this guy, whoever he is. But anyway, but yeah, so that race was kind of a whatever. It was a mess. Xfinity race. Good grief, this is getting ridiculous. My car's gonna end up freaking pitting without me wanting it to at this rate. Same guy's just dropping debris every time. I should have pitted with Boyer and gotten fuel advantage. Let's see if they're pitting, actually. I gotta wait and see here. If they're pitting, I need Boyer to pit. Or he won't. Yep, they're pitting. Dang, man. Well, I guess I can take no tires. Oh, God. Yeah, but this situation where you just get brake checked going into pit road 100 times. So he's even taking no tires. He's not going to gain many spots. But we'll do it. We'll do it just for the frick of it, I guess. We just got to get him track position and let the AI handle it from there. But anyway, so let me just get on with this. Xfinity race I watched in about 15 minutes because I DVR'd the race, the first two races. Well, and the duels too. So I pretty much just fast forwarded through most of it because nothing ever happened. It was just single file follow the leader for the entire race, including the end. We're just, I mean, it was so boring. I guess good for Michael Annette, but whatever, you know? It's just like, sure. All right, so we only got up to 18th. Yeah, that's about what I figured. But anyway, so Xfinity race was a dud. They didn't tear up as many cars, though. I'll give them that much. Their boring approach to the race at least saved them from getting crashed a million times, I guess. But so then we get to the Cup race, and I pretty much watched it all live, which was different because even the last couple years I had pretty much been DVRing the races and watching them where I could skip through commercials and long green runs that were boring. But this one I pretty much watched it live, and at times it was entertaining, but at other times it was kind of boring, like the Xfinity race where just nothing was happening. And then you come to the idiotic wrecks, including the De Benedetto Paul Menard wreck, which took out 20-something cars. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, maybe it was this one's fault, maybe it was that one's fault. The truth of the matter is that there were still enough laps to go that Menard didn't have to push that hard yet. They needed to bide their time. The top line was going to come in. It always came in. And he just pushed the envelope, and he wrecked half the field or over half the field. And took out a ton of really good cars, including De Benedetto, who was having such a great day. And then came over the radio and said, "My bad." And I've defended Paul Menard for a long time when people have been like, oh, he doesn't deserve a ride. Oh, he's not that good. And I've always been like, I mean, I think he's a really good driver. And I think, you know, circumstances just haven't always gone his way or whatever. So I would defend him, you know. I can't defend this time because that was just stupid. And then you're going to come over the radio and say, my bad, while there's people like with a car on top of another car on fire. You're just going to be like, my bad. Like, frick you. First of all, you made a dumb decision. But anyway, so at that point, there's very few people left, which definitely hurt the quality of the finish. You had to know it wasn't going to be very good. With so few good cars left. But then they managed to wreck, what, 2 more times? And get down to just a handful of cars left. And, whoops, sorry, Junior. Where am I going? Okay. Oh, God, that guy came down there, and I wasn't expecting it. Oh, I almost died. All right. But yeah, so then, there's a handful of cars left, a bunch of damaged cars, and the Gibbs guys at the front already planning out what they were going to do. But let's not overlook one important thing. So on lap 11, they did a tribute to... Oh my god, I just killed Newman. Whoops. Sorry? I just gave him a little bump, and he just freaking went crazy, dude. But anyway... Moving on. So, on lap 11, they did the tribute to J.D. Gibbs. And let me just say, it's super sad, what happened to him, that he died, that he went through what he went through. He seemed like a great guy. This is nothing about him, what I'm saying or what I'm about to say. But they did this tribute, and then I want to say it was like 20-something laps to go, and Denny and Kyle are up front, and Darrell Waltrip says, it's going to be so great when the 11 wins to honor JD. And then he sort of caught himself and was like, if he wins. And you could chalk that up to, well, he's old. He says things that are silly sometimes. But it got me thinking, like, what if this is exactly what was supposed to happen, right? Because, like, during that whole weird pit cycle thing, Denny ended up front when a lot of people didn't. And then Kyle's with him, and they're working together, and not a lot happened. He was just out in front for a while. And it got me wondering, like, is this what was supposed to happen, right? And before people get mad at me, you can't tell me that there haven't been races that were kind of choreographed in the past. I'm not saying it happens very often, but it definitely has happened. Whether it's just a caution at the right time, it's an overlooking of some broken rule, whatever the case. Somebody gets bigger holes in the restrictor plate, I don't know. But things have happened. How is Newman still a few spots ahead of me after what happened? It's really funny. Oh, John Hamilton. Whoopsies. But anyway, so yeah, that's a thing, right? As far as I'm concerned, anyway. That felt suspicious. That was like, okay, so this is what they want to happen. And then it gets down to it. And, Kyle does the good teammate thing, lets Denny in, and then that's it. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the race, because Joey makes a run, which I didn't want Joey Logano to win. You have to know me by now that I'm not a fan of Joey Logano. So he makes a run. Nobody goes with him, and Kyle gets to his outside, gets past him. Eric Jones, I think, might have got past him too. I can't remember. And that was it. Gibbs gets the big 1-2 or 1-2-3, whatever. And, it's... Oh, come on! I hate this game sometimes! Why does it do that? I barely touch him, and then I'm just glued to him until we crash. Ugh, it's so aggravating. We make the slightest contact, and it's like you're done. You have no control over the car anymore. Anyway, sorry. getting frustrated. It was a huge celebration. And, if it's legit, then cool. But, like I said, it just felt really contrived. And I don't like thinking that way, but that's how I feel about a lot of recent events in NASCAR, is that it just feels very, hey, we need something good to happen or special to happen to make the fans, you know, get reconnected or whatever. I don't know. It is what it is, right? It's just my opinion, and obviously you're welcome to have your own. I definitely, have no inside knowledge of these things. It's just me, blowing smoke. But it's just kind of off-putting, I guess, for me as someone who is trying my best to want to care, and I find that I just don't. And that is probably going to be true for the rest of the season, because I don't really foresee wanting to watch the rest of the season. Except I will probably watch the next race to see what the new package, the aero package, does at the next race, or the next, whichever one is going to have it. I always forget what the next race in the schedule is, but I kind of want to see that just to see how it plays out. But trucks, Xfinity, I definitely will not be tuning in, because if my interest for Cup is this low, trust me, it's way lower for those series. And then as the year goes on, I don't know. There's a good chance I won't watch any more races, and it's kind of sad because for basically 2001 through 2017, I watched every single race basically, unless something prevented me from doing so. But it was a valiant effort to always watch every race. I watched most of the side series as well. There was a day in time, in those first several years, that I was so obsessed. I was watching every talk show about NASCAR, every recap. I was watching qualifying. I was watching practice. And now I just find that I don't care even about the races. And sure, it's a changing of the sport. It's a changing of, like, the way the cars handle it makes it way more boring than it used to be, in my opinion. But it's also a changing of the drivers and the people that I actually cared about, that I tuned in to see and to root for. And especially something like Daytona, where, like, so many people can get wiped out in one stupid, wreck. You're left with, like, maybe nobody you care about being up front, and it just puts this negative this sour feeling on something you spent 3 hours watching, basically. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think it'll ever be the same for me, because back in the day I could be excited, like, oh, my driver rallied back to finish, 15th, and even if I didn't like the guy who won, I'm still excited about this race, and I just don't have that anymore. But I've rattled on this whole race about this while wrecking with Boyer multiple times and barely driving my car, which is pulling away nicely. I hope, it looks like, god dang, did Miller just fall off, or is that him in second? I can't even tell anymore. No, I think that's Vickers in second. I think Miller just dropped after I drove him back up there, but whatever. Hopefully they stay in the top 10. We're going to get this win without even really trying, and I've ranted about the state of NASCAR for too long. I do have one other thing I want to talk about as regards. Okay, so he did fall to 9th, but at least they both got a top 10, and we rallied Boyer after wrecking him 3 times to get a decent finish. What's funny is this replay of the whatever's happening is probably Boyer's car, but they're gonna make it look like mine, so it's pretty funny. But let's look at the results here. My car led 48 of 50 laps, so once I took the lead from Mark, I never lost it. Boyer 5th, Miller 9th. Where did Mark Martin end up? 13th. Alright, interesting. Scroll through these names for the purists who want to know. Did everyone finish on the lead lap? They did. Everyone finished the race. That's interesting. But yeah. Let me, these highlights. I mean, it's just going to show me winning, but then it's also going to be probably something that would have been Boyer, but instead it's me. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Might still make for a good thumbnail, though. But anyway. Let's get on back to the menu. Well, after we celebrate, of course. Yay, Fake Miller. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, whatever. I wasn't in the race. Frick you. And Kurt Busch wants a showdown. Alright. And I guess we have another challenge from Kyle Busch. If you can win the race by 2 seconds or more. Tropical Oasis 200. The frick is that? Is it this? Oh, okay. So we have to win by 2 seconds or more at Mr. Clean. And there's a showdown with Kurt. Alright, I guess next episode, we're not going to keep up our alternation of Nationwide Cup, because the schedule is just going to get really weird. So we're probably going to do Showdown, Qualifying, and Mr. Clean, and then next time we'll do Bristol and see what happens from there. But let's look at the point standings. They're waiting for the world's longest autosave. We have a 97-point lead over Elliott Sadler. Wait, no, what am I doing? It was Nationwide we did today. That hasn't changed. We have a 171-point lead over Clinton Boyer, 195 points over Brandon Miller. They are staying 1, 2, 3 for now, though they don't have a huge gap. A decent gap, but not a huge gap over John Hamilton, who's just always around. But let me just say, too, before, well, hold on. Modifieds run. So let's see. Haley, he's 4th, only 10 points back. We might get a championship with him before it's all said and done. But this guy we hired, where is he? 16th in the points? I guess that's him. I want to say that's him. Ned Shannon, maybe? Or is it? I can't remember. No, Rick Russell. I don't remember. Hold on. Who did we hire? Leland, hired driver. Okay, Rick Russell. Oh, he won the last race. Holy crap. Well, you finally did something good. You've been terrible so far. All right. Awesome. He won the race. Okay. Well, anyway, let me just finish what I was trying to say about this season of NASCAR. The only other thing that I'm intrigued by is this talk of 2020/2021 where they're going to be changing up the schedule, adding more road courses and short tracks, changing the lengths of races, possibly only going to tracks one time instead of twice, things like that. Possibly not even starting the season at Daytona. That intrigues me to some level. And also talk of the next generation car, which is, I think they said something about having an independent rear suspension, so like a complete different change to the way the cars work and stuff. So that kind of stuff does intrigue me for the future. But as for 2019, I find myself just uncaring. But yeah, I mean, if you guys wanna like debate that with me in the comments, like give me your thoughts or whatever, feel free. I welcome that. And obviously, you know, if you guys are still big fans of the way things are right now, cool. I mean, I'm glad. I wish I had your enthusiasm. I just don't anymore. But I'll still be playing NASCAR video games this year, so I'll still be getting my NASCAR in somehow, I guess. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hammer that like button, share with your friends, subscribe if you're new to join the Wolf Pack. multiple times if possible, because we really want to get that 1,000 subscriber threshold soon. Yeah, next time we got a showdown and some qualifying and nationwide, and gosh, I don't even know. But we'll see you guys then for more. Bye.